The Syringa Motocross track, north of Johannesburg, the home of motocross. A legendary circuit which was started in 1960 by Jannie Stander. The Stander family have owned the track and the premises ever since. And today is a sad day. We arrive at Syringa Spa for the final event at this legendary venue. Legendary riders and legendary motorcycles. Yes, from 1960 to 2016, the Syringa Park. Today is more of a celebration of the Syringa Park with vintage motocross, which does seem appropriate. Lots of famous riders have come out to take a look at what's going on here today, and the Stander family well represented. Rest in peace, Jannie Stander, who lost his life this year at the venue. It always has been a family outing in terms of motocross. Full fields and full grids, always out on the track. And practice sessions, well, they allow about half an hour for practice, in which you get about 2 laps of practice, and that's always how it was at Syringa. Some vintage motorcycles and some highly collectible motorcycles. Gavin Williams from Cape Town with one of his beautiful collection of bikes, a Mako this time around. Remember trying to kickstart those 465 Yamahas? I think Rex Staten was the only one who could do that. And Rob Peterson has found somebody with a problem in the pits.
Gerald, a bit of fine-tuning going on here on the old PE 250.
Robbie, you know what happened? Lending out your ears to beep, cross, cross, dash, dash, dash. Welding a timing chain on, it's too high above the serrations. Now, old school pegs are bad. I've managed to make them worse. Can you believe it? Me and my son. There we go. But the day will still be good.
I thought he was going to adjust the points with that hammer. A gathering of some old names, Tony Riddell, who will be taking part today. Kevin Corky, who raced so many laps around this track. And let's catch up with some of the old names who did race here in the old days.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my first race here was in 1977. And yes, this is an absolute pleasure and an honor to end it like this. So it's been really, really good. I got my little 1981 YZ125 from Gareth Island. Been so gracious to lend it to me. And absolutely awesome.
Well done to Grant Foley and Craig Barthas for preparing today's track suitable for VMX. Very similar to the old Syringa as we remember it. And one of the stars around this track was none other than Russell Campbell.
And there's the leader, the spectacular fly.
Emotional to come back here, Russ?
Yeah, it's a very sad reason we're coming back. I think there's a lot of memories here today, a lot of old guys that'll be here today. Should be good.
Anything that really sticks out here? Big battles, anybody in particular?
Yeah, there's used to have lots of battles here with the Riddell brothers. They're here racing today. You go around the pitch, you'll see all the old names in that. They'll pop out the woodwork, and today we should be banging some bars properly.
Yeah, and all the way from PE. Had to make the trip to Syringa, eh?
Yeah, I saw the whole event on Facebook, and I realised that all of my mates from the 80s and the 90s and just about everybody was going to be here. So yeah, I had to come up.
Yeah, a big day. Once again, great to see everybody out here. Anybody in particular?
Oh, well, Russ and I have been mates for years, but it's a community in which I operated for best part of 30 years, and it's been great to me over those years, and I hope it continues to be as good for the young guys coming through as well. But it's great to see everybody.
Peanuts, back at Syringa, one of the original legends, the Charlie Tisson gang, and nice to see you back here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm still in contact with all those guys in the States, thank goodness to Facebook. And it's still marvellous. We still come do it. And I'm not old enough yet to stop though.
First race of the day, pre-1978 class. And as you can hear and see, they're all smoking 2-strokes. Dave Bevan with a whole shot on his Yamaha YZ250 from 1977. Pretty anxious to get around the first turn in the lead. And as always at Syringa, there's a pile-up in turn 1. We've even added some mud for today. Justin Thompson out there on a DT250 running with the big boys. Richard Thorne, Gareth Ireland on his Husky, that's a WR400. Evan Pretorius on a CZ, listen to that thing. Ian Cooper, Gerald Lakely, and Ian Merck on that beautiful Penton, the blue one. Almost clearing the tabletop there. Gareth Ireland's putting in a fast run there on the Husqvarna. And that DT250's got about, I suppose, 25 mils of suspension. And Gareth Ireland will pick up the checkers. We're all sad it's the last event at Syringa, but a gathering of some old faces. Let's chat to them.
Mike Hermanson, bit of memory here today.
Yeah, jeepers. It wasn't like this when we were around. I remember the grandstand and the bowl was specific and, you know, I just said to Grant, do you remember it like this? He said, no, I remember the old grandstand. That was all the atmosphere of it. But, you know, the trees have been here and that's synonymous with Syringa. It's been fantastic. And, you know, the chicken run's not like it used to be the old days, right? But, yeah, we had some great times here from 75 to 81 in my life. But this was one of the first ever televised races was here, and it was the year that Charlie Thyssen won basically everything, right? And then all the commentary was on us because we were coming second, third and fourth and whatever. But yeah, there's great memories here. The Cape Town guys never really did well at Syringa, unfortunately.
Didn't do well anywhere.
33 years ago that we stomped around these grounds and it was part of my life. But today we're coming here for the last event that'll take place. It's quite a historic day. And as you can see, there's a lot of old faces here. Good friends, good fans, good old day.
Next up on the grid, in the program it says Modern Vets and Masters Support. It's got a couple of modern bikes in amongst the old classic bikes. Quite interesting to see the performance difference. Well, not too much if you ask me. The man to look out for is none other than Tony Riddell, who started riding on this track in the 1970s and in fact raced at Grand Prix level in the early 1980s, of course. The Riddell family all raced here together, brother Neil and father Neville. And there is Tony out front, beating some of the more modern four-strokes.
Tony Riddell, your family was also very famous around here. We see a lot of families here today, but most of them aren't riding, but you are still riding.
Yeah, I had a look at a program just now from 1973, and Neil and I in it, and my dad.
It's amazing, really. A lot of memories here for you?
Yes, it's good to actually see like Grant. I see Larry Wasick walking around, all these old, I thought they're all gone. Yeah, they're still walking around, they're actually looking quite fit.
And so is Tony. Let's take a walk around and catch up with some of the old stars.
Wayne Smith, you probably started off here as a junior and made your way through to the senior ranks at this very track.
Yeah, in those days, started on 100cc class. We should have been on 80cc's. Old man didn't know what he was doing, bought us big bikes, and we started on 100s. And yeah, we went right through until today. I mean, it's a legacy. It's flipping fantastic to be here, and what a turnout.
Memories coming back here today, pretty nostalgia.
Yeah, 8 years, 76 to 84 at this track, and some very good memories. You know, going through the ranks and the good smells we smell now, like the old two-strokes, amazing. And some of the old people, we don't even recognize each other anymore.
The feature at Syringa used to be the enduro class, motocross bikes with lights that we ride in the roof of Africa. But let's catch up with some of the other guys hanging around in the pits.
There's a name that's fairly synonymous with Syringa, and that's the family name Davies. Mark Davies obviously raced here many times. Bit of nostalgia for you today.
Yeah, Dave, we had our first race here late 1969, and I think I stopped racing in 85, but our lives were made here, you know, our friends, our history, our families, speckies, and it's actually quite scary to come back here, and it still feels the same.
Chris, it just looks like nothing much has changed. We've all just got a bit older.
You did right, and as Mark said, we've had a lot of fun here. We all grew up here, and today we're still involved. Well, I am still involved in motorsport and enjoying every minute of it.
Clive Struggle, if I remember correctly, you were the enduro champion around this very track.
Yes, 1978.
It's way back, Clive, but coming back here today, how does it feel?
It's fantastic. I was going to ride today, but my bike cried enough. But I'm a bit sorry about that.
Glad to see so many old faces.
It's fantastic, and not only the riders, their families, and also quite interesting to see their kids. And the kids suddenly finding out that their old man's famous. It's quite lekker.
125cc class, well supported. We've got classes A and B. Somehow the B class is for the newer bikes. Daryl Hancock straight out front. Oh, it looks like bike number 27 with a problem there. I can't tell you who it is because he's not in the program. And that used to happen a great deal at Syringa.
Gary Nell, you probably raced here as a junior.
Yes, I did. Matter of fact, this was the first motocross track I ever came to before I even started motocross. All the older guys, your brother was racing, still in juniors. Russell and them just moved up to seniors. So, that was the first place I ever came. It was amazing. It caught me, and it's a special place in my heart for this. It's so beautiful here. It's unfortunate we're not going to be here again, but it's always been great here.
Daryl Hancock out front on the 95 Honda CR. Just behind him, Adrian de Hutton and Michael Payne winning the A class.
And obviously, this track for you was one of your home tracks, really, wasn't it?
Of course. Syringa to me brings back many memories. And I mean, seeing all these guys here, this is unbelievable. You know, Mr. Maben, who's sitting there, Mr. Duplessis. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. We started together. Grant and I started together. We were talking about the little bikes, little 125s and the SL Hondas and the TM Suzuki. And oh, my goodness. It goes on and on. But the memories that this place brings in particular, that's why I think all the guys are here.
Certainly a sad day as we take a look at Roger McCleary from the 1970s and race footage from the 1970s. And the star in those days was Grant Maben.
There was an international race to take place here at Syringa many years ago.
Yeah.
And the night before that race, you actually got injured.
That's quite
at
right.
that race.
Yeah.
And this is the anniversary of that. I don't know if you realise that.
Your brother was actually just reminding me of that 5 minutes ago, yeah. Fantastic.
Well, obviously Syringa for you was a very special place.
Yeah, it was too. Yeah. This was a playground for all of us, and it wasn't only us that raced motorcycles. Everybody that came here, it was a spectacle. It was a social gathering. It was always just so much fun. Always.
Grant, what did motorcycling do for you in your life?
Oh, Dave, you know, motorcycling was my life, and after I'd had this accident, I still believed that there would come a time when I would still be able to get back into it. But things changed, and my life moved on. And funny enough, I'm not a big follower of any of the motocross or anything anymore. But motorcycles, as with all of us that have ridden them all our lives, will always hold a place in our lives. I still ride bikes. But I enjoy riding, you know, I've got a Harley and I go and ride my Harley. I'm not a big groupie with it, but I love being out a lot of times on my own.
Well done to the VMX guys for attending today. A great show indeed. The 1980s saw the invasion of American riders in South Africa. And one of the stars from the States was Larry Wasik.
Larry Wasik, welcome back to South Africa. Obviously a few memories here for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, a lot of memories 31 years ago. And it was funny because, you know, I was looking at the old board they have up there, and they just happened to have the program from the last race I did here in '85. So that's quite a coincidence, but really nice. Yeah, remember everything. Remember the smell, the soil, the rocks, the dust, and just nothing but good times here at Syringa.
It was an amazing time of motocross in South Africa because a whole lot of you Americans came over here at the time to ply your trade, really.
It was, yeah, it was good, and I'm really, blessed and honored to be a part of it, and play a role in getting some of the guys so quick, and just watching the chain of guys come through from Robbie Herring and then Doug Moore, Albertine, and so on, and Langston, and it keeps going. It's really nice, but this is, like second home, and like I was saying up there, sometimes I wish it was my first home. I love it in South Africa, and but nothing but, good times here. This track's tough, I was out there seeing the dust and the rocks, and you really have to be good on the throttle and good throttle control. And I didn't always have my best races here, but I had fun. And when you win here at a big race, you know you did something good.